Hello friends. So in this video I'm going to complete the previous project. Okay, so if you are following this project called Live Coding 004, so it's a form for multiple level dependent dropdowns with a form. So this is where we ended in the last video, and in this video I'm going to apply some styles to this form to make it a little bit nicer, okay, beautiful, maybe to make it like apply some styles like bootstrap. And so here the function is working, I think, if you are trying, if you watch my previous video. And here is the project, and I'd like to make a copy of this file, so I don't want to change it. If you're trying to follow the first video, and you can still have the original code there. And in this video I'm going to make a copy of this file and start working on this file. Okay, so if you check in this folder, this is the project for the previous video, and then let me rename this file. So let's say this is part A. Okay, and let's make a copy of this file. Let's say this is part B. Let's close this part A, and we can start working on the part B and just add some styles to this web application. I think it will be a very short video comparing to the previous one. And after I made a copy of this file, I need to go to the script. If I open the script editor, I should have the code, basically a copy of the script is from the part A. Okay, so let's start working on this part. And the first thing we need to do, we need to deploy this first, because this is a new project. We just copy it, develop it as a web application. Right now there is no revision, so this is the first release. Okay. I need to get the new, basically the new web app URL. Okay, because we're going to use it to for the form post, right? So let's copy, not this one, and because we're using the test one. Okay, so let's copy this for, and go to the index.html file and replace this URL here. Okay, so this part is done, and let's go to the Bootstrap website. So if you do a Google search for Bootstrap 5, and then let's add some source. Not this one, Bootstrap 5. Okay, and then you can use other CSS libraries. Okay, but Bootstrap is very popular. So here is a quick start. We need to make a copy of this CSS link, and let's go to our file and add it here. Okay, so this is the CSS, and let's also need to copy this JS. Let's copy it. You can either copy this one, and you can copy this too. So let's just make a copy of this one and add it back to, let's add it here. Okay, maybe let's give a comment here. Say this is for the bootstrap JavaScript, and let's give it a comment here for this CSS link. Bootstrap CSS. Okay, so now we just applied, added the link to the Bootstrap library. So if I go to this link, so this is our web app link, and we should see the change. The style should be changed a little bit. Okay, so as you can see, comparing to the previous, the font is changed, right? And we can apply some styles to our form to make it a little bit nicer to look. So first we need to maybe lay out this item first. I don't know if I can remember some classes for the Bootstrap. So let's try to add them as a container. So let's add a container class here. Container. And wrap them in a container. So if I reload the page, as you can see, we add some margins. Okay, we add some margins to the form. So this is container. What is the container we'll do? And let's just change the form a little bit. So if you go to forms, you can check this form control, and we can apply similar stuff like this. So basically, as you can see, we have a form control. This is a margin bottom class for margin bottom, which is 3, and so this is the element, the form input, and as you can see here, this is the label, and we have a class called form label, and this is the input, have a class called form control. So let's just add these classes to our form input. Okay, so let's do, for the first one, let's say we have, for this div, let's give it class of, which is margin bottom 3, basically add a margin to this div. And for this, we're going to give it class of form label, if you can remember. And for this one, give it a class which is form input, I think, or something else, I don't remember. Let me check. So form control, sorry. Form control. Okay, so let's do this for the rest of them. For the label, 1 label, 2 label, and profile, and let's make a copy of this label class. And for the form control, let's make a copy of this class and add it to this one, teacher, and this is the what is this? This is for the file input. Okay, maybe this one we need to do some change, but for now, let's add it here, and the margin, add a margin for all of these divs. Not this one. This is a close tag. Okay, so if I try to reload the page, so right now it's it's totally different now. Okay, and if you think this is a little, so it's too wide, so we can add something. So because for small size screen, so maybe a cell phone, it looks like bad, it looks like good, but it's for a wide screen, this is not very good, I think. I don't know, but you can change it, of course. So what we can do here, we can add some layout here. You can lay out your form, but you can lay out with this. We can add rows and columns. Okay, so let's see what is the class for the rows and columns. So as you can see, we have a container, and then we can have a row class, and we have a column class. So let's do it very quickly. and we can apply something like where's the form, and this is container. Let's add a div and add a class for row. So this is the row, and we wrap everything in a div and give it a column. Okay. So let's format the data. So this is the column, and we think we can make it responsive. Okay, let's see how can we do that. So we can give it a, so basically this is a 12 column layout system. Okay, so if you add a column 4, that means it will take 4 columns of 12 from of 12. Okay, so if I add 4 here, so if I refresh the page, so boom, this is changed, right? The form width is changed. So this is how you can do this kind of layout. Basically, there is a lot of stuff here. So for the front end, it basically is just you can take a lot of lessons and you can do a lot of stuff. I don't know how to say because this is kind of complicated, right? And I'm not very familiar with, and just want to show you how to do a very simple customization for your web application. Okay, so this is something you can do, right? It looks a little bit better now, and let me show you how to wrap. I think we can add some modifier for these columns. Let me check. Greet. Okay, I think it's called breakpoint. So basically, you have the size for your screen. You have, as you can see, this is dimension in pixels. This, if you are using this X small, SM, that means small, and you have a medium, large, and extra large. So we can use this modifier in our class. So maybe let's say if it's media, let's change it to 4. And if it's not, I'm going to change it to 12. Okay. We can do something like maybe, let's say small, let's take it to 6. And for media, we change it to 4 columns. And maybe for large, change it to 3 columns. So let's check if this is working. So if I change the screen size, something is wrong. I think I did it wrong. Only the this is for large. Let's get rid of this. So basically, you can add the modifier. So the screen size. Let me check if I can find it. So it's columns. Where is it? Responsive. Responsive layout. Okay, so here is the example. You can do it. So column 6 for small screen, let's take 4, and for others, I think it's over. If the screen size is over small, it will take a 4, and it's less than the small size is going to take 6. So this kind of stuff. So for ours, let's change it like this. So for small screen, let's change to 6. And for rest, take okay, let's keep like this, I think. And for this button, we can add something, add a class also to change the color. So right now it's a default button. So let's apply class for this button, class form control, and let's add a class. I think it's btn. If you check the class for buttons or forms, form control, no button here. That's weird. So this is the button here, as you can see, and this with a button and button primary and the margin. So let's just use the primary class. That's basically the primary color, okay, applied to your button. So let's just add a btn primary to change the color of that button. Basically, a lot of stuff you can do, right? And let's see if we can do something else to change the image. So let's do image or image. Okay, let's say, I don't know which one is better. Let's try this one. Okay, so class of image fluid. So let's try to use this class. Where is my image? Okay, here. Let's get a class. And let's get rid of this. We can add a placeholder image here, okay, because we didn't select any image. So let's try to select the image here. Okay, so now we have the image, right? And everything should work the same. Okay, we just apply the bootstrap styles to this application. Okay, so if I do let's say crease, if we do submit, nothing changed. Okay, and they got your UID and the message to the end users, and then we should get the data from here. Okay, this is the image. Upload it. And we need to do something else. Okay, let me show you. So this is how you can apply some styles to this application. It just takes time to do it because you can do a lot of stuff. You just need to use this library and you can apply the styles you'd like to apply to them. So it's just a style, just a favorite you like to use. Okay, so different people have different flavor. So it just depends on you. Okay, how to make it a little bit nicer to look for the end users. Okay, so let me show you something else you need to change for this project. So if you remember, so this URL here in the form, which is a development link, so that means we need to do a change finally after we did everything to our project. Okay, we test everything, we need to update this link. Okay, you need to grab the link from the management deployment. So the first thing we need to do, we need to make a copy of this file, okay, and replace this link. Okay, this is the first thing we need to do. And other stuff, maybe some little improvement here we need to do. So in the first video, I think I didn't add this here. Okay, so let's just remove it. And if you can see here, we have a message which is inserted by Google, so we cannot remove it. So we have some workaround to remove this. Okay, so with some trick. So if I like to do that, let's create a new. Let me show you. So let's open my VS Code. So basically, we can use an iframe. Okay, let me show you what I mean here. So let's close all the files. So let's go to my project folder. This is the. Okay, I'm going to create a new project, I think. Try to make a new project. So this new file, okay, let's save it. Let's just make a new file. And let's call it index.html. And save it to my desktop. Okay. So here, we add the default tag here. So here we can add a title maybe for live coding, demo form. And here we can use an iframe. And this iframe, as you can see, it takes a source, and we can just grab this URL, which is your web app link, right? So let's try to use this link here. And if I try to open this, let's try to open this. I think it's on desktop. Okay. So I open this. It gives me something like this. That's it's not allowed. It refused to connect, right? So we need to do something here in the code to make this is allowed. So there's something I just deleted. So we need to set the Xframe options mode, and this is HTML service. So this, let's just change it to allow all. Okay, so after we did this change, if I refresh this page again, it's still not working. That's weird. Maybe let me do this correct. Let's try to publish this project one more time, and let's try to use the production link. Okay, so edit, new version, the second release, deploy, and copy this URL. Let's try to check if it's working. It's working here, but we need to make it working here. So let's go back to my code and replace this source. Okay, hope this time can make it working. Okay, so as you can see, we don't have this annoying message from Google, right? But this size is a little bit small, right? So this is the default size for this iframe. So if you check the size of the iframe, so this is the size. So 300 and 150. So this is the size. So we need to do some change here. Let's give it a style, and give it a width of 100%, and give it a height of 100%. And we need to also give a style for the body. So change the width 100, view width, and height 100, view height. And let me check if I refresh this page. Okay, so I maybe I almost got the full size for this application, and without this annoying banner there. Okay, maybe I need to get rid of the padding and margin for this body, if any padding and margin there. And if I refresh this page, so this is a form without this message from Google, and we can host this index file with a service like Netflix or GitHub repository or GitHub pages, and Netlify. Okay. Basically, we can host that as an application. Okay, we can use this to deploy our application. So after you deployed this on a service like this, you don't have this. You don't have a header like this, annoying message from Google like this. Okay, you can get rid of it. And this is the workaround to get rid of this message. Okay, it's not perfect, but it's just a way to fix this issue. Okay, and let me check if anything else I'd like to share with you. And here you can add more stuff here, and you can add more information about your application. Okay, I think you can add some meta tag here. So here, if you are using the responsive website design, so we can add some tags like viewport. Okay, so if you are doing a search for viewport for responsive, you can add responsive tag, the viewport tag here for your website. Okay, so basically this meta tag we added here. So we just copy the viewport, we just copy the content. Okay, so this function takes two add a meta tag. So first one is a name and the second one is the content. So the name is viewport and the second one is, so basically it makes this application responsive. Okay, so if you're not using the bootstrap library, if you are trying to write the CSS yourself and you want to make a responsive website, you need to add this tag. Okay, so let me check if anything else. And you can, something else I think I forgot to mention is about this file input. We need to apply accept attribute here, because right now we can select any files, right? So if you do a search here for input accept, you can see we can try to apply. So basically we can use this for image. So we just make a copy of this, and other file types you can use. So let's update this one. And also you can do other stuff. A lot of stuff can be done. Okay, basically I cannot cover all of them, because here you can choose a very large file, right? So that's another problem. You cannot solve all of them, I think, in one project. So after I did this, and if I go to the application, not this link, this is the production, I need to test it in the test URL. So let's open it. And if I click on this choose file, and as you can see, the files which are not image are disabled, and I can only select image, right? This is folder, so this is the image, PNG, right? So and anything. Okay, so I think that's it for this video. Okay, just a very short video to show you how to apply some styles to your application, and you can try it yourself. Okay, basically this kind of stuff is normally you need to try it by yourself. Okay, it's not very hard to learn. You just need to practice. Okay, I'm not very familiar with this part, so it's kind of hard for me to explain this to you. And you can find a lot of tutorials on YouTube to how to do that. Basically, they're just CSS. Okay, so let's stop here, and I'd like to say I complete this project. Right, so let's I'll see you in the next project. Okay, so let's end it here. See you next time.